Hello, my name is Faisal Khan. I'm a banking and a payment consultant. A, a particular client of mine asked me, they like this concept of remittance as a service from the United States, but they are afraid. They are afraid of the US. And I want to make this video to maybe ally some of the concerns that people have with respect to doing business in the United States when it comes to money transfer as a service or remittance as a service. A remittance as a service has two components. One is the US component and one is your country. Let's say you could be in Bangladesh or Pakistan or Philippines or Nigeria. So that's the second component. And the other component is the US component. So let's talk about the US component. You are actually using someone else's license. So anything that happens in the license, they are responsible, not you. So because they are originating the transaction, it's their system, their anti-money laundering system that is in place. It is their, terrorist counter financing of terrorism system in place. It is their OFAC system in place. It is their transaction management system in place. It is their, compliance system in place. You are not responsible for the transaction. The transaction is originating in the United States. Now you will say, but it's my brand in the US, it's my name in the US. So what? It still doesn't matter. The legal responsibility of that transaction happens to be with the license holder in the United States. So let's say a transaction happens that should not have happened, that went to a terrorist organization or someone that was sanctioned or someone who should not have been who should not have received some money, who should have been screened, who should have been blocked. How can you be responsible? This is the party that's responsible. And this party means the license holder is responsible, not the program manager, not the person who was renting the license from them. It's the license holder themselves that is responsible. And if you can have this arrangement with the Western Union, or if you can have this arrangement with RIA or MoneyGram or Express Money, although I think Express Money is not a good idea to even talk about these days, but if you can have the same arrangement with them, you are not afraid in that scenario. Why? Because the transaction just happens to be coming to you directly. So in remittance as a service, you don't have to be afraid of who the originator is, because there are methods and there are systems in play to make sure that nefarious transactions, illegal transactions that are not supposed to happen, do not happen. And as a recipient of those transactions, even if you are running the system under your own branded website, etc., in the United States, under remittance as a service, it absolves you. I repeat the word, it absolves you from any legal responsibility of the transaction that happened here. What they can ask is who's the recipient over here. If you are doing something illegal on your end, then obviously you are responsible for it. But if anything is happening over here, it gets blocked and stopped over here. It does not come over here. And what does this illegal mean over here? So let's say someone is sending money from United States to Pakistan. But what you're not telling the person is that actually this money is now going to be channeled into Afghanistan, or this money is now going to be channeled into Syria, or this money is now going to go into Lebanon. And you could do the same thing. So Pakistan is not the only example. You could say Bangladesh, you could say India, you could say Philippines, or you could say Nigeria. And if it's coming in Kenya and you're pushing the money through the border agents into Somalia, or through Tanzania into Somalia, or Yemen for that matter, and not letting them know, then you are responsible for that transaction, because that money is now in your control, and how you push it, channel it out further, is in your control. So if you can stop that from happening, then you've got nothing to worry about. So I want people to understand that remittance as a service is a legit service. It's a legal service covered under all the covenants and laws and licenses and regulations with the United States financial regulators in each state. There are federal guidelines as well, etc. All that will be there. If you understand this business, then go into it. But if you don't understand this business and are afraid, then talk to me. I'll be happy to explain. The goal is not to sign you up as a customer. That will happen if you will want to do it. That will happen if you, that may not happen if you don't want to do it. I mean, that's up to you. But the goal is, the whole reason for making these videos is not just to get customers. I mean, I'm sure that's my goal. I'm doing that for a living. But the goal is to educate. So I want you to understand what you can and cannot achieve with remittance as a service. I want you to be relaxed. I want you to understand that this is a normal service. There's nothing to be afraid of. If you have a concern, if you have a thought, then let's address it. And like I said, once the money comes to you, if you're doing something illegal with it, if you're doing something nefarious with it, then that's on you. But from the origination side, you got nothing to worry about. I hope I was able to explain that concept. If you have a general concept on this video, if you like it, hit like. If you would like to subscribe to this channel, which is all about payments and money and Lord knows what, still haven't decided what the channel will include. You may subscribe to it if you wish. If you want to get in touch with me, there's a contact form in the description below. Please fill it out. There's also a WhatsApp number. I'll be happy to communicate on that. Till next time, this is Faisal Khan signing off.